This particular graph is referred to as an infograph. As we can see, from first impression, this infograph offers a wide set of information which tells us about baby boomers and how these describe themselves within 5 varying personality descriptions. However, despite being visually appealing, it does come with many faults. The first being that some of the percentages accumulated does not total 100%, but in fact 243%, which clearly reduces the precision and accuracy of the graph and its represented data. Subsequent to the fault of the percentages is the disproportional size of each section linking to its specific portrayal of data. As you can see, the size of willingness to learn 61% comes across as larger than the people savvy 78%, and so in a visual manner gives off bad interpretations. However, strengths do come into play when considering its use of color coordination when segregating the data, which according to one of Tufts' principles in Chapter 1 of the visual display of quantitative information, helps encourage the viewer to make comparisons between different sets of data, whilst also allowing for a more coherent display of information, data, and patterns. The infograph is also very eye-catching due to its reasonably informal design. Despite its obvious mathematical faults, the infograph does not offer insight into the way baby boomers describe themselves as shown by their apparent percentage.
Keeping up with the presidential elections, many data maps such as this were created to dictate and portray which of the American states voted overall for the Democrats or Republicans. However, although we are clearly shown which states voted for whom, we are given no indication to the individual percentages within them, and so it is left very ambiguous and gives off a potentially biased representation of the Republican dominance over these elections. A common fault with many data maps is its inability to accurately distinguish between each individual place due to its distinctive boundaries and nature of its layout. This particular data map is no exception, and the problem with this is that yet again it gives off a flawed impression to the number of people and size of place to which voted. Despite its obvious flaws, this choropleth map is actually very clear and coherent as made possible through its direct key and visually effective colour scheme. Another positive is that it is able to analyse massive amounts of demographic data down to the metropolitan statistical area level, thereby summarising an otherwise impossible quantitative sum. Finally, we as the viewers are encouraged to think about what is shown to us as opposed to simply analysing it, which links to Tufts' key principles and benefits us as we are able to gain a further understanding of the information shown.
First off, due to its complexity, we will not be discussing all the possible strengths and weaknesses of this particular graph. We will, however, summarise the major components of it. This choropleth shows us the life expectancy of the world, with toggles of male, female, and global values to allow comparisons of life expectancy differences in opposing countries between genders. In addition, it has figures supporting current predictions of birth and death rates. As stated, this graph is undoubtedly very complex and so demands time and considerate analysis in order to fully understand its withheld data. One factor which adds to this is the use of colour and its link to specific life expectancy in individual countries. Such a wide set of data therefore requires a mass amount of colour, so that any differences can be clearly defined. The drawback of this, however, is that the viewer becomes overwhelmed in terms of the graph's visual as well as numerical representation. A major benefit which is specific to this, however, is its interactive capabilities. As you were shown briefly before, the chart is able to record and portray live data of world birth and death, which becomes as a massive advantage for those wanting to study present-day mortality rates. If you find yourself fortunate enough to have time to really analyse and understand this graph, then you'll quickly learn that it has a lot to offer. This graph is able to withhold mass amounts of data in one single background, which is very useful as all the information can be found in one place. As the title states, the graph is about world life expectancy, and by using a rank ordering system, we are able to clearly see where each country lies within a global hierarchy. Stephen Few once said that what makes a graph good is its ability to make it easier for the viewer to see the rank order of values and compare quantities, which this graph has succeeded in doing.
This is our reference page consisting of a series of websites and books which we have gathered online. And to finalise, a pie chart showing our group contribution which we have agreed to equally split into 25% each. Thank you.